Hello and welcome to the close of polls on Election Day. We are streaming live across Fusion Comedy. This is the show where you turn to for the least up-to-date information on about what's not happening right now. If you want to find out what is actually happening, go to the Fusion main page. That's what they're for. Today we will get answered so many questions we've had over the last 18 months. Not only will we get a statistically accurate impression of just how racist America is, but we'll find out the answers to other questions like, will Hillary Clinton smash that glass ceiling? Will Donald Trump smash our democracy? Will Jill Stein smoke a bowl before voting? And like most Americans, we'll ask, who is Gary Johnson? So that is very exciting. To answer these questions and more on the panel, we have three of America's finest stand-up comedians that don't have Netflix specials. First up is writer, performer, musician, I'll say it, poet. I know you don't do that anymore, but
that's all right.
D-Lo! And hailing from the Bay Area, he's one of the best stand-ups working in rooms today. You also may recognise him from some fusion sketches. He's everyone's favourite Scandinavian black guy and also the bad boy of table tennis, David Gborie.
Yes.
And she is the mastermind of the Comedy Festival, Disoriented Comedy, and is the creator and star of Fusion's very own Yang's World, Jenny Yang!
Thank you.
First up, guys, just letting you know, in the eastern states, you have about 90 minutes left to vote. 90 minutes. So if you haven't voted, stop watching this and go vote. So have you guys voted today?
No, but I voted early.
I voted early too.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you vote today?
No.
Did you vote at all?
I got a situation. I don't really live anywhere. Technically, it's a whole...
Gborie!
Oh, because we all pay taxes. Okay.
So as a non-voter, how do you treat this day? What's this day like for you?
Thankful that I live in a blue state.
Right.
True. Realistically, you know what I mean?
Even just down the ballot, you don't care about all the provisions?
No, I care about 64. That weed stuff is close to me.
So is that a yes?
What?
Is that a yes?
No, I'm not here to share my opinions.
Provision voting is so strange. There's just so many provisions, particularly in California. There's something like
provisional voting?
Is that right? Provisional voting? Have I got that wrong?
It's if you don't have your actual official ballot and you need to just go to the polls to...
Oh, hang on. What am I thinking of?
You're thinking the proposition.
The proposition.
Yeah.
That's okay. You're a foreigner.
Yeah, I am I'm a dirty foreigner.
I just learned it last week, so...
So about propositional voting, how do you guys feel about that? I feel like that's a strange bit of minutia that doesn't really exist anywhere else in the world.
Not really, no.
Are we the only ones who do that?
In the States?
In the
States, we use it a lot.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of history. At one point, I used to work as a political professional, and I had a better answer for this. But it is very particular to California.
But how do you, you're all Californians now?
Yeah.
How do you kind of keep...
Technically.
How do you keep...
Let's not talk about where I live.
How do you keep all those propositions in your head? How do you go into the polls and go, yes on 51, no on 69, always on 420? How do you keep it in your head?
It's always trusted voter guides.
Yeah,
there's usually where you go.
There's dummies for dummies.
Yeah.
That's what I do,
And then I cross-reference the different voter guides.
Right.
Yeah.
To be like, okay, and then there's ones where they actually explain, this is where it came from, this is who's pushing it. Because these propositions are single-issue votes, right? Which is so weird, because it's like this weird, mass voting legislative process for us.
Yeah.
It's actually supposed to be very populist, right? But it makes us into a legislative branch, and we might not know what we're talking about as people, is all I'm saying.
And shouldn't that be the job of the politicians you're voting in?
That's what that's why we elected. This is not like a mass true grassroots democracy. We actually have a representative democracy.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, as promised, I thought this show would be part therapy. So, because this election is kind of like watching your mum and dad get divorced and split up the house before they set it on fire.
But also you're like, Dad sucks, get out of here. Mom rules.
Yeah, which parent are you siding with, Dave?
Obviously Mom.
Mom. I mean, honestly, I feel, Hillary is the lesser of two evils. I'm of that kind of mind frame. But I had to vote for her because I was like, just if I have the right to exercise my vote and I have doubts in my mind, even for California, then...
Yeah. You just got to do it.
Jenny, what about you?
I was a Bernie Sanders supporter.
Right, so how are you feeling? So you were siding with Uncle Bernie?
I was siding with Uncle Bernie.
If you could move, you'd move out of the house and move with Uncle Bernie.
With cool Uncle Bernie. He has a hands-off approach to parenting. You know what I mean? Probably would let me smoke some weed.
Definitely.
He's the Berkeley dad.
He's the Berkeley
dad.
Yeah, he is a Berkeley dad.
So how are you guys feeling right now as Americans? I want you to channel America. Like, how is America feeling?
How's America? America's scared to...
Yeah, I think there's a lot of real scared people,
People are
man.
just frightened,
Yeah.
right? Don't you feel like all of our collective sphincters are just tight?
Clenched.
Yeah.
That's why everybody's yelling. I yell when I'm scared too. That's why everything's in caps on the internet today.
This is what this is. This is the collective yell of America right now.
Jenny, I like what you said about a collective sphincter. You know, when I go to the 538 site and I look at the polls go up and down, and you know how the polls kind of do this movement?
Yeah.
I think
Nate Silver's site?
Every time the red and blue lines touch, I feel like my sphincter is...
Yeah.
And every time they're apart, I go, oh.
Yeah.
I know.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
I feel like my bowel movements are closely related to 538's polling.
I mean, we're assuming that, this fusion's a nonpartisan situation.
Yeah, that's right.
It's pretty clear, though, we're not necessarily Trump supporters.
Well, I think people who enjoy fusion...
I got him riding shotgun, so
I think people who enjoy fusion are very woke people of colour who probably won't have anything to do with Donald Trump. I think that's very, very blatant. So why do you think America is feeling so scared, Dilo? Well,
Well, I feel like both sides are scared for different reasons. I think that on one side, it's like definitely, oh shit, the world is going to go to pieces tomorrow if Trump gets elected. Yeah. And then I think for Trump supporters, they're scared, but it's like a subconscious thing. It's sort of like, well, if Hillary, becomes president, what happens to the formation of the KKK that we were planning this whole time? And what happens to... Are Mexicans going to stay now? I mean, are we going to allow Muslims to stay now? Like, I think that's the fear that...
So there's genuine questions even if Hillary gets in?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Come on, yeah.
Gborie?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of people afraid that a way of life is dying.
Yeah.
And they think that is maybe more on a single politician than like a system.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And
I would also like to invite you guys to say what you think. Drop us a line in the comments and contribute to this. If you've got a question for our panel, hit us up in the comments below, and we'll ask these guys. So you think there are a lot of Americans that are worried about a certain way of life is dying? What do you think about that?
I mean, I think if you watch the narrative, it definitely seems to be this type of thing where these people are like, this idea of what they think America is going away. Even though America's never like been that, your whole family always lived in Kansas. Like there's always been Muslim people here this whole time. You know what I mean? Like it's
this whole time.
Nothing, not in the beginning.
Well, neither were white people then.
I know, white people weren't here the whole time.
Remember when it was great? No, yeah, I think there's a lot of people scared. And there's a lot of people who are scared that, like, Trump's going to come in and take us back 30 years. Me, personally, it's a president, man. We were here. You know what I mean? We were here. We lived through all of them. I'm going to be all right.
Is this why you don't vote today? Because you're like...
No. That's like...
That's something you can't talk about.
Yeah, that's like, I don't like being on paper and systems.
Yep.
Like, that's a real...
I see that. I know some people like that.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Jenny, what do you think? Do you think this is similar to what Dave was saying, that people are scared about a certain way of life disappearing, and that's what they're worried about when they're voting for Trump?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the anxiety on the side of Trump supporters is real. Like, I think it's messed up, but I think it comes from a very insecure place. And so my question is where does the insecurity come from? And it's not the people that they think are the cause of it. Like you said, it's not the president, it's not Muslims, it is a system that is disenfranchising people, whether you're white or poor or whatnot. So I think to me that is the kind of across the boundaries, across the borders, kind of, so to speak, conversation we need to be having after this, you know? It's real easy to sort of focus on the horse race between these two characters. But the true work that's going to happen is no matter who is in charge, we have to hold their feet to the fire with the issues that actually matter, which honestly, you know, even under Barack Obama, wasn't really getting addressed. Right. You know, I'll be honest. So, you know, even though I support Barack Obama, right? So, I mean, so to me, if white folks, poor folks are voting against their best interests, supporting a party that actually won't employ them, won't actually provide the services to make their lives better. Yeah. That's what I think is unfortunate.
Dylan?
I'm sorry, I was mid-cough. So I did miss the last part of, but if you rephrase it, then...
Well, what Denny was just talking about policy. What do you think has been missing from this discussion around the election this time around? Policy has been kind of vacant.
I think, I mean, there has been talk about it, but just jumping off of what you were saying as far as, like, the system's already broken. What are we doing to ensure that people can live like in a good way? Like we're not always struggling. Where the majority of the people in the States aren't struggling to make ends meet. I think that that's fair. Like, why can't we talk more about that? Why are we still governed by this wage gap and this you know the fact that the 1% aren't being held responsible to take care of well, I guess it's not take care of. I mean, that would be me being like a communist, but like, but to contribute, yeah.
Is that kind of what you're saying, Jenny? Is that what you're feeling like that conversation was missing from this race?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like here's the thing. This presidential race, because that's the most prominent, is important because the president gets to have a lot of executive power over a lot of stuff.
Yep. Right.
But even if, I mean, and I still don't want Trump, but even if we didn't get the person that's correct, we can still agitate around policies such as, you know, basically the Bernie Sanders platform. But, you know, so
everything Bernie. Everything Bernie is what.
I'm saying
it's not too far from what you were saying. Donald Trump's policy is not too far away from what you were saying. His rhetoric was not too far away from what you were saying. You know, reaching out to poor people, trying to say, hey, you know, jobs have gone overseas. So is it a surprise to you that Trump kind of made it as far as he did? Or is he kind of echoing half of your soul, whereas the other half has been crushed gently by an orange hand?
Yes, that. And but I think that the way that you talk about it, first of all, like if you're gathering poor white people who are already afraid of losing their place in society as white people, is different than saying, you know what, I'm a rich person and I know we fucked up and like here and actually let me bring forth to you all of the things that rich corporations, pharmaceutical companies, all of these things are doing that actually hurt you more than these jobs that are going overseas. So, you know.
All right, we've got some comments in from Facebook. First up from Mike Damascus. Is that Donald Trump mask placement intentional?
Shotgun?
You know, I mean, he can, wherever he needs to be.
You know what would be intentional is if it was more like this.
Yeah, and I didn't do that. That's a great joke.
Or even more like this.
See, and that's...
Because he would want to grab this.
Yeah,
that's the
right,
thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Colby Meyer writes, wait, why is an all-American corn-fed Megyn Kelly hosting this? I feel cheated.
Too bad.
I want you to know, Corey, or Colby, that I drink soda, which is very much cornstarch, so I'm almost, you know...
That's very American.
That is very American.
John Miranda, if Trump wins, should Kanye run for president in 2020?
I wanted Kanye 2016 for the record. Just...
Johan Miranda.
Oh, Johan, my mistake.
Yes, come on.
Man, that guy. What's up?
Johan. What's up, Johan?
Yeah.
All right, well, I mean, as comedians, let me ask you this. Like, how has this election season been for you? How have you approached doing comedy? Gborie?
It's been the worst because Trump came out and you were like, yo, there's so many good jokes because this dude's obviously going to be gone tomorrow. And then he just kept doing it. And then after a while, he can't even talk about it anymore.
Because it got too real.
Yeah, everybody else on the show had 40 jokes, man.
No, that's true.
But also, Trump kind of, I don't know if you guys feel the same way, I feel like writing jokes at Trump is impossible because everything you do, he goes and does something 10 times worse.
He's like a one-upper.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to like...
human one-upper.
Yeah.
I don't want it to seem that like I'm pro-Trump or anything, but Donald Trump is hilarious.
Yeah.
But like, you know how sometimes you laugh at people that you're not supposed to? You're like, oh man, that guy's dumber than me, but he says like candy, and you're like, oh, that's pretty funny.
It's
That's
like because he's like the younger kid that fell.
Yeah,
And then
But he's
like,
running for president.
But he's running for president.
Exactly.
And you're like, I shouldn't laugh at the guy that fell because he's
also-
so-and-so's younger brother.
he just says really like wild shit, and I've always can I say shit?
I think you can, yeah.
Is that?
Are we cursing?
I was told that we could say all of it. You told me that.
Can I say all of it?
Look,
because
we're not going. We're not
Australia
going.
was dumping some hard C's before we started.
By C's, I mean Constitution.
Yes.
It had some of those letters.
Yeah.
Shit, fuck, let's do it. Shit, let's just break the ice.
We did.
Shit,
We
fuck.
did it.
Grab him by the
Yeah,
pussy.
we did it. We did it.
Grab him by the pussy.
We are allowed to say pussy in this context because of Trump, thankfully. Now,
Yes.
D-Lo, what about you? What about your right?
I was making jokes about Hillary for so long, and then the minute that Trump came up and it was real, I had to stop. I was like, shit, I'm selling her out
Yeah,
right
now
now,
I'm a
and
bad guy.
I can't like do that.
So
I mean, I still
it was
did
an
joke about
editorial
Hillary,
choice
but
for you.
yeah.
Right? It was
I mean, it was just so outlandish at a point, and when you say it got real, like. It got scary, and I don't want to say that I'm one of those people who like gives in to fear. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I want to kind of remain positive about tomorrow. See
But be
what
afraid.
You know, exactly.
Be afraid.
Exactly.
Go vote now. Sorry.
I just
No, absolutely.
They're gonna take your guns.
Because then that 1% in your head is like, she's got real. You better be fucking scared and pack your bags. I have this thing called the Trumpocalypse preparation kit.
What's in your kit, D-Lo? What's in your Trump?
Why don't we all go around later and talk about what's in our kit before we?
Oh, I got some stuff.
Yeah.
You're watching Fusion Comedy Live. On the panel, we've got David Gborie,
Hey.
Jenny Yang,
What's up?
D-Lo. My name is Dan Ilic, and we are trying to just decompress from this election. This is a time where hopefully we can, through the power of being, comedians, fellow comedians, we can just share what's on our chest.
This is stressful still.
It is.
I'm so stressed out.
Right, still right now.
I'm still stressed.
Why?
Your butthole's like this.
It is. My butthole, my throat is closing. All the sphincters in my chakras.
We might be able to find some Tic Tacs for you to freshen up your breath. But at what point will you?
Damn.
Damn, he just called me out.
What time? What point, Jenny?
Called me out on my bad
That's
breath.
what happens
no.
when you have bad digestion.
That was a Donald Trump
because of-
reference.
Oh,
That
it
was a
is?
Donald
Oh,
Trump
my
reference.
bad.
Oh, I thought you
I was
just
like,
said.
just call-
Yeah, I thought you just
Put
said
me
she
on
got
blast on
steak
Fusion
fried.
Comedy.
I was like,
damn.
maybe it's because your sphincter's closed that like it's bad
it's
digestion.
Oh, it's
and
that
then-
sucks.
yeah.
That's true.
At what point do you think you'll relax? You'll be able to relax?
Well, when they finally call it for Hillary, I'll relax a little bit. And then, but I'm just
A little
saying
bit.
though,
Just a little
But
bit.
like the real work is gonna. Here's the thing: anyone who was mad that Bernie Sanders didn't get it
Uh-huh.
have to keep working because. Hillary Clinton is a professional, and we have moved her. The mass movements, whether it's Black Lives Matter, any of the other Occupy Wall Street, all of it, has moved the Democratic Party a certain way, and it has forced the debates and her conversation to change. And so that should also continue. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
And I think Bernie Sanders' supporters have done a really good job at
Yes.
doing that.
And he's pushed that.
And going into this election, Hillary Clinton's policies seem to be the most left of any Democratic president
For the
in
first
some
time.
In a long
Yeah.
time.
Long time. So
She
this,
came out
because-
strong about abortion verbally. She actually said the word Black Lives Matter, which is like in like presidential election life. She tried to address sort of Wall Street, right, 1%-ish stuff.
Bernie's been a great influence on me.
Yeah, no, for real.
He made you talk about it. That was like
Yeah.
the best. He just came
Yeah.
up and he was like, I don't play by any rules.
Yeah.
Why don't we talk about why they got this gun in here?
Yeah, that show was gangster. It was a little gangster.
Yeah.
I feel like the last time we even spoke about issues was when Bernie was in the primaries.
Yep.
Do you think that he'll still be a strong influence when she, maybe potentially wins, even if Hillary wins? Do you think?
I hope
Yes.
so.
I would like to think you can't just turn off that pipeline.
No.
Yeah, I mean, he opened up a big thing, a big movement, a lot of people
Yeah.
being in the stuff they wouldn't have been in. I don't think everybody's just, he didn't win, I don't think everybody's just going to go back underground like, I don't care about shit anymore.
Were you a Bernie bro?
What?
Were you a Bernie bro?
I'm not a bro. Yeah, I like him.
He's like, say what?
Of course
He's like, say what?
No, I mean, of course I like Bernie. He came out saying crazy shit.
Yeah.
I just said I like Donald Trump. And Bernie said stuff I had never heard anybody. I never heard somebody who was going to be the president talk about privatized prisons. That, like, I worry about having kids because of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
And he's, like, said shit like that. Nobody was ever talking about it. So, yeah, man, I also thought they were going to kill him because I'm paranoid.
Right.
I was
Can you put a helmet on?
Hang on,
I was a big one. Kill this tiny man.
Was that a genuine conspiracy, like that the Clinton campaign would knock off Bernie Sanders?
I don't think it would. I didn't think it was going to be the Clinton. I just thought somebody was going to kill that dude. You can't just talk like that. You can't be out here talking like that.
We talked about that. We're like, yo, what's his protection? Who's
when he was walking down after he got inaugurated, I was like, that motherfucker's not wearing a helmet.
He should have gone out in a Pope mobile.
Yeah.
He should have been in the Pope mobile the whole time.
With his glass protective
yeah,
and looking out the
I'm sure.
Yes, I do.
I was like, I can't believe he didn't get killed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he made
was
it.
into it. He made it.
I know.
Obama's pretty much like Jesus now.
We walked on water a little bit.
Pretty much.
A little bit.
Pretty
Basketball playing Jesus.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, singing gospel.
Fine ass. That's
Fine ass. He is. We're not gonna have. That might be the best ass. Just like two cheeks situation we ever had for president.
Just completely superficially.
He was so pretty.
He's a very cool, pretty.
He was silky smooth, man.
Oh,
I have to brag. I shook his hand.
No!
Was it soft?
Where? How?
It was very soft. It
Like
was,
cocoa
it
butter
was-
soft?
The shake itself was firm, yet the skin was supple.
Oh my God.
It was supple skin.
Man.
Supple skin with a firm handshake.
When you shook it, did you think, these are the hands that these hands can't close Guantanamo? This is not going to.
These hands are not going to retrieve the immigrants that were sent home. The undocumented.
Oh man, we
What
got.
hand? Jenny, where did you meet him?
I met him in D.C. I got like this weird random White House Asian American award from them.
Awesome.
And I got to shake his hand.
Wow.
Like a big dinner thing.
Do they have a Caucasian Australian award that I could apply for?
They do, actually.
Is that a thing?
Jenny won that too.
Sorry, buddy. Ronnie Chang got it.
Oh, good, Ronnie Chang.
Only Asians
Shout
qualified.
out to Ronnie. Good on Ronnie. He's great. Good on him. You are watching Fusion Comedy. On the panel, we've got D'Lo, Jenny Yang, and David Gborie, and my name is Dan Ilic. And we wanted to hear from you. If you've got a comment you want to share with us, drop it in the comment section below, and we'll get it brought out here. Like John Richard Nolan has. He says, you can do better. Someone messaged before about how Megyn Kelly should be hosting this. And John says, you can do better than Megyn Kelly. Why not have a Tommy Lauren to spout racist nonsense instead? She's like Kelly, but younger and without the facade of decency.
Who's Tommy Lauren?
Tommy Lauren is a young pundit. She's about 20 years old. She works on the Blaze.
She's a blonde one?
I care what she has to say. 20. All that knowledge of the world.
Yeah.
Hey, that's ageist.
Yeah, I'm totally ageist. I don't want to hear shit you have to say till 28.
there you go.
I'm 29. I just started listening to myself.
Yeah, Tommy Lauren. She's 20 years old and she's on the Blaze network. She's on Glenn Beck's network.
Which is not what you think it is if you're just scrolling through looking for
Not the
something to
Blaze
watch.
network. No.
No, I did see like a viral video about her. She looks like a cheerleader. She looks like a blonde cheerleader.
Yeah, it's if you cross a blonde cheerleader with Alex Jones, that's Tommy Lauren.
Which has actually never happened in the wild.
Which is why she wins.
Yeah.
She's worked it out. She's like, I'm really hot, I'm blonde,
Yeah.
I'm going to tap into this alt-right market and just pave a career for myself.
Get it.
And speaking of decency, I almost feel like the way Trump. Okay, we're gonna back it up. Like it's the same way that you're like, I'm not a Trump supporter, but there is something, as a person of color who cares about race and whatever, there is something very honest about how direct the racism has become.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I would rather have
A
that.
little bit.
I would rather have
Absolutely.
when he was
It's
like
scary, but
Yeah.
when he was like black people, why not try it? When he was like that, I was like, that's kind of a good point. It hasn't been working. It had I like that. Just him saying that is like, at least you talk to me like a person.
Yeah.
And also
You know what I mean?
because it actually makes very clear what we're dealing with. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's been hidden, and that's what so many of the Trump supporters love about Trump. It's he's saying the thing, so it gives them permission to just say the thing.
Yeah.
Which to me, it's like, great, I know exactly who my enemies are.
Exactly.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I like that. I like that too.
That feels so wrong though. Like I feel so.
Would you rather have it be sneaky? Because if it's sneaky, you can't fix it.
Well, not sneaky, but like, you know, I guess what you're saying is like, you know, you wish that maybe their quietness would prevent them from actually taking action with it.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, because they can still do stuff even if they don't say their racist thoughts.
But now I think what it's given is a whole bunch of racist people the legitimacy to be racist in public.
No, it's
Good
true.
though, because then that creates because you could just be racist in your home forever and not have to deal with it and never have to confront why that might not be wrong, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I would rather have people speaking up. And like then we can help fix these people, or I mean, I'm not trying to put them in camps or whatever, but like, you know what I'm saying?
Put the racists in camps.
Yeah, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like at least if we're talking about it openly, at least it's not this weird hatred that you have behind closed doors. I used to talk crazy stuff about white people, like after my shoes are off and I'm home.
No,
like,
I do that too.
Yeah, but I would rather be able to talk to a white guy and say, hey, I think Mumford and Sons is dumb.
Oh, fuck this shit.
But you know what I'm saying though? Like I think we needed Trump to see where we were at, man.
Yeah. But there is real consequence. So on the flip side of that though, I want to back it up. I'm not saying I love all of that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because there are actual physical assaults and real altercations that happen.
There's
like
formation happening for the KKK. There's formation happening for
they looked at Beyonce and
they were like, oh,
they got
this
cheated
is
on?
That's what we need to do.
No. You need to get information. The KKK has been getting information.
Are they going to make a film like instead of lemonade, are they going to make like sweet tea? Is that their film?
No, whatever racist drink. It's
Rebirth
not
of a
sweet tea.
Nation.
Rebirth of a Nation.
So what? I mean, why would you prefer racism to be overt rather than covert?
You know, for me, I'll just say this, that like I grew up in Lancaster, which is an hour away from here, and that was where the first KKK West Coast church was established, right?
No, well, I'm a member, so... No,
and then, you know, like you would hear rumblings and like this, that, and the other, and people would be like, you know, be careful because some of the members are still, you know, lurking around and some, you know, whatever. Then in Bakersfield, right after Trump's first speech at the, or first major speech, I forget when this was, like at the top of the summer or like at the end of the spring, I forget when this was, but I'm driving through Bakersfield and I see a Confederate flag. And then I was like, oh, this is directly correlated, right? Like, and then on the way back, you know, I texted my cousin and I was like, yo, I saw this on the road, and then she texted me back like 3 weeks later. She was telling me that flag went and it was now a Trump flag, right? And so, you know, to me, I'm like, same thing, right? But you know, for me, I grew up in a city that people got killed and you didn't know why.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So then to kind of go along and go, okay, yeah, things are better now, and then to realize that nothing has changed, or maybe a little bit has changed, but like really nothing in the grand scheme of things. Just that the actions of killing people under the radar, racist acts of killing, have been kind of muted. If that's the only thing, and now we're seeing that people are being like this. That part scares me, but at the same time, I do straddle that where I'm like, but I'm actually appreciative of the fact that it's out there now, because now we can address it.
Yeah.
You know, there's something to actually address.
Like that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know where I'm at. I want to know where I stand. I want to know where other people are at. I don't want to have to decipher, because I feel like a lot of times problems with the left is there's a lot of coded language that ends up being racist type stuff that happens anyways.
Gborie's making a very serious point, Jenny.
I feel like Trump, but Trump is always there.
Yeah.
So talk about the coded language.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, I just like a lot of times there on the left maybe are a lot of people who are doing service to a system that maybe they're not actively helping. Like you can have a Black Lives Matter post, but if you never had a black person in your home, you don't really know, you're not actually going out of your way to like, you know what I mean? It's like, that's what we need like integrate, you know what I mean? You need to like be able, you need to be confronted with everyone. Like, you know what I mean? We all need to like intermingle. Like just because Hillary Clinton wins or Trump wins, it doesn't mean the rest of these people with these extreme ideas are going to go underground and you're not going to talk to him no more. That dude still works at the 7-Eleven where you buy your cigarettes.
We should schedule some kind of interracial orgy once a month. Once a quarter.
Sex is the best way.
No, that's the problem.
No, but let's be real though. Like,
I used to be a bigot, but after those orgies.
But no. I would disagree. You can't fuck your way out of racism, is all I'm saying.
But we can all try.
Have you tried it? It sounds like a woman from experience. It speaks from experience.
My Twitter is @the_G is silent. If you want to DM, try to sex your way out of this racism thing, we'll try to figure it out.
This is
you doing your political work.
Yeah, dude, that's me. I'm in service of the people. Yeah. It's not about me.
You're watching at the close of the polls on Fusion Comedy's Facebook page. We've got 3 great comedians joining us here on the couch. D'Lo, Jenny Yang, and David Gborie, spelt Gborie.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Gborie. The G is silent.
The G is silent.
And I'm Dan Ilic. And we're taking your comments here on our Facebook today. Stephen Michael asks, what will we call Bill Clinton if Hillary wins the election? I think this is...
I love that.
What do you think?
Well,
we did a video on this recently. Someone said...
The first gentleman?
Well,
that makes sense to me.
First lady, first gentleman.
But the problem is then he'd have to be Fagotis, and that's hard to say.
Without
Flotus flows.
Yeah,
Fagotis is the mouth.
He is also a former president.
Yeah.
So would you call him? Would you still call him president?
Well,
or you can't call him president anymore.
Yeah.
I want to call him the first gentleman.
He wants to be
That makes
called
sense.
the first laddie.
He said that.
Laddie?
He actually said that.
Laddie?
Laddie.
He said that.
Laddy?
That's
what he's called
No,
in the
it's
bedroom.
Australian. You made that shit up.
Let me look it up.
There's no way he wants to be called. No one wants to be called the first laddie.
Yeah, no,
he's a grown man.
He's a grown-ass man.
Bill Clinton said that.
Is that real?
Yeah.
Was he high?
Does he know what laddie means?
Yeah, because that sounds sexual.
No.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what she calls him in the bedroom. I mean, that's what she used to call it.
Yeah, but for real though, I mean, I don't like to imagine Hillary Clinton's sex life much, but Bill, you better step the fuck up tonight.
You know what I'm saying?
That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? If I worked this fucking hard to become president after what your ass put me through, you better service this body.
Somebody's got to get grabbed by the pussy.
You better be a lot more than glass ceilings.
Oh my God.
Nate Lowe asks, do you think...
Nat Lowe. Hi, Nat Lowe.
Hi, Nat Lowe. Do you think Hillary's email/Clinton Foundation situation is going to hurt the Dems in the long run? Nah.
I don't think anything hurts the parties in the long run. To be completely honest with you, the Republicans are still going to have a candidate next time.
Yeah.
You know what do you mean? They both done terrible shit.
Bill Clinton was impeached.
Yeah.
For having his dick sucked by an intern.
Getting the DS.
And the Democrats were fine.
And now they're worried about an email server.
But
it's
honestly,
very different.
Yeah, then the email situation, when it came out again recently with the FBI director, that was a big, fake out, wasn't it? Wasn't that a big fake out?
She got cleared again, right?
Yeah, she got cleared again.
Like a couple days ago?
How many times does she have to get cleared for people?
For real, though.
But still, today I heard my cousin sent me something with Pence talking about how it's all bogus and
Sure.
You know.
Yeah, it's all bogus. All right, Kim Flores asks, she's got a great one. Okay, guys, ready? Trump 2016 dream cabinet. Go.
For me?
Who's in Trump's cabinet?
Lou Ferrigno. Straight up.
Who's that?
The Incredible Hulk.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's a dream team. It's just like right-wing Neil Diamond. Or no, who's the Neil?
No, not Neil.
Neil Young.
Yeah,
Neil Young.
Is it Neil Young?
So the Incredible Hulk.
Yep.
Neil Young.
Yeah.
How many do I get? Like
Scott Baio?
Scott. No.
Charles in charge.
I'm
of the interior.
Who's the guy?
I don't know,
That's great. That's a great. Oh, well done, Jenny Yang. That was a great joke. Charles in charge of the interior.
Yeah, see?
That's
his new title.
No joke. D'Lo?
I don't know, man. We need to get. When you asked that question,
Youngblood.
I would say Kanye.
Man,
Kanye for
I mean,
either party.
for
He
everything,
can just
though.
fuck it all
think
up. Like, just fuck shit
Milo
up.
should get a position.
Who's Milo?
Milo Yiannopoulos, the guy who runs Breitbart.
Oh, Breitbart guy.
Yeah, the young guy.
I
He
feel
could be head
like
of
Trump.
comms.
Is this our dream cabinet for Trump, or
Or
is
like,
this Trump's
is this
dream
like,
cabinet?
because
You know what I
I'm
mean?
thinking of like an axis of evil, like,
Yeah.
what would
Right,
be
right.
the dopest bad guys I could see
Ted
in
Nugent. I
there?
feel like Ted Nugent
The
would be involved.
Nuge.
Right,
yeah.
Ted Nugent would be involved in Trump.
Nugent.
He would definitely be overseeing the FDA.
Wearing some kind of animal skin.
Or the ATF, whatever handles firearms.
Yeah.
Kim also asked, do you think Kasich had a chance?
I don't think anyone had a chance besides the two people.
What was the name of the handsome
Bernie.
one? The Republican handsome one?
Not Cruz.
Republican handsome.
You know who I'm talking about. O'Malley. O'Malley was handsome.
yeah.
No, Democrat.
Oh, just kidding.
No, there's a Republican hottie too.
Well, there was a Republican one, right? Mark
was a-
O'Malley was a Democrat. You're right.
There wasn't a,
He was
talking
there
about
was a
Marco
Republican
Rubio.
hot one?
No.
Oh, right.
JK, Mark O'Malley. All I have is my little hearts from
I would
Mark
like to
O'Malley.
make a GIF of D'Lo's face when I said when I implied that Marco Rubio was handsome.
Come on, Rubio had a soft face.
All right, guys, I want you to give me a caption for these pictures.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, geez. I feel like this is comedy boot camp.
This is Comedy Boot Camp
Oh
right
my
here.
God.
Okay.
Because what happened earlier today, Donald Trump voted as he went into his polls in New York City.
Oh, he did? Okay.
People from the street were booing him.
Yes! Oh, how satisfying would that be? I would have loved to have glitter bombed him.
And then someone made this fantastic still from CNN. I'm just going to show the audience first. I don't know if you can see that.
Okay, we
I'm
don't
sure
see it yet.
If,
We don't see it
If you're
yet.
on the internet, I'm going to move it closer to the. Sorry,
Show
Gborie.
the internet, Dan.
Tell him.
Dan, show the internet.
How's that?
Does the internet see? Good.
All right, so this is the picture, guys.
Okay.
Oh, that's real good.
I got one immediately.
All right.
I
so
can understand that. He needed to make sure
Listen.
that she was voting for him. I can understand that.
Let's pass it along, and you can all have a go.
Mine is hashtag that feeling when you made it all the way to the polls and realized you can't read. So he's cheating off of her because he can't read his own name.
How would I caption this? I mean, he just trusts no one. I just feel like he just can't trust anybody. He's that small of a man. Even his own wife bot.
Yep.
Wife bot.
Wife bot is not.
You think it's a
wife bot
Stepford?
better listen.
You think
That's
it's a
what I
Stepford
would say.
situation?
She's a total wife bot, isn't she?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
She seems
absolutely.
very nice, and she wants
Sure.
to
She
stop.
seems very
She wants to
nice.
stop bullying online, and that's very nice.
I know.
I can't wait till
It's
she guesses his name 3 times so she can be set free.
I know, right?
Do you like?
I don't know. It's what I was saying is that I could get it. Like that he would have to make sure that she voted for him because he hasn't been good to her.
I know.
Well, I think it's almost like I think like he's like looking at her ballot because he doesn't know who to vote for.
That's what I'm saying. He can't read.
It
He
brings.
just went in and went, President Trump.
I mean,
And then everything else was
Yeah,
like,
he thought there was going to be a picture of his face. He's stunned.
yeah, he's so good at like.
he was
so-
gonna press like a button that made a noise. He thought it would have like a jingle when he pressed his own face.
I mean, for so long he's been cheating on his wife. Now he can use his wife to do some cheating. I think that's sorry, Stevie. Sorry, Stevie.
Take it easy.
All right. Okay, got
You're
really
right,
excited about that punchline.
No.
All right, here we go. What about this one? If you can't see this one, this is Eric Trump.
Yeah, does the
Doing the
internet
same
see?
Also, my God.
Moments later. Stevie, can you show the internet?
Who was taking pictures is what I want to know.
Oh, no.
You know what it is? Republicans do not trust their partners.
There you go.
Republicans
Yeah.
do not trust
All
their
right,
wives.
internet.
Look at
Well, I
that.
don't even know if it's their wives
That's
as
the
much
picture
as
there.
just they don't seem super good with women.
Or it's just like
I think they're just
it's like they do trust somebody with intellect to make the right decision. They just hope that they don't make the right decision, right?
I like, yeah, that is so strange. Like, I don't give a shit who my mom's voting for.
All right.
Republican men trust no bitch. They trust no bitch.
Okay, we've got some results. Some results are starting to come in here. Trump has a lead in Kentucky and New Hampshire,
Oh, crazy.
according to Google, with 1%, with a 1% reporting.
1% reporting.
That's not that.
nothing.
That's not huge. Donald Trump holds 97% lead in
79%.
Kentucky. Sorry, 79. Thank you.
Let's make
I
sure
can't
we're
read.
reporting the facts. This
Like
is not
Donald Trump,
news.
I can't read. 79% lead in Kentucky. Trump leads New Hampshire, 52-41.
Okay.
Well, that's right.
Okay, New Hampshire. I see you, New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
I see you.
With
We
1%
know
reporting
about
by
New Hampshire,
We knew
though.
about New
except
Hampshire.
the colleges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dartmouth even.
Yeah.
I drove through New Hampshire in November 2015, and there were already signs.
Yeah.
Like there were already Trump signs everywhere. It was huge. It was still a big deal. So, pretty amazing stuff there. All right, you guys.
Kentucky, not surprising.
Voter intimidation. I want to talk about that a little bit. Earlier today, Trump's lawyers took Clark County to court in Nevada because on Friday they allowed poll workers there allowed polls to stay open just another couple of hours to let the extra long lines a chance to vote. And Trump's supporters thought, well, we've got to stop that. We've got to try and figure out a way to fix that so that doesn't happen ever again.
What did they do?
Well, luckily the court threw it out. Hey, they said.
Oh, Trump tried to file a lawsuit.
Trump tried to file a lawsuit,
and the court threw it out.
The court hearing with
that makes him look real unconfident.
Real unconfident.
Yeah.
Well, you want to know why?
What?
Because if you technically are in line to vote by 8 p.m., they're legally bound to make sure you get to vote. So it's in line by 8. And it's not cast your vote by 8. It's in line by 8, which is why you would be obligated to keep the polls open.
And that's why that's what these poll workers did. They kept it open, so they allowed anyone who was in line,
they cut it off.
2-hour-long line, to the chance to vote, which is pretty extraordinary. And Nevada is interesting because a lot of polling there didn't take into account the Latinx vote, and the Latinx vote is massive in Nevada. And so I think for Trump,
as it should be.
For Trump, I think a lot of Latinx people aren't particularly big fans, and so that would mean that they would absolutely be voting for Hillary.
But think about it, right? Just this little detail of you got to be in line by 8 p.m. and the polls will stay open for you. To me, that is the essence of democracy. It's a very small practice.
Yeah.
But what is a democracy if your party actually wants to keep people from voting?
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
That's kind of been the MO for a minute, right?
Well, yes.
Voter suppression.
They've been trying to make you not vote for a while.
This is the thing, the only way to win votes is to get people who like you to vote and to stop those people who don't like you from voting.
Totally.
The judge threw it out basically saying, have you not read the internet? Have you not read Twitter? There is so much voter suppression going on from your side, you guys can get stuffed. And she just threw it out straight away. It was pretty amazing earlier today. Which makes me want to ask the question, have you guys ever felt intimidated yourselves at the polls when you've gone to vote?
No, because I'm in Highland Park where it's very sweet and
I'm in Highland Park too.
And chill.
I haven't felt intimidated, but I've always kind of been on the road, so I always choose to do absentee voting.
Right.
Have you heard of stories of maybe your friends being intimidated at all?
I understand how it could be. I mean, I'm not a person who likes to get out there like that. I don't like going to anything about it anymore. Just like as it is, it's just like it seems like it's maybe more difficult than it needs to be.
Right.
I mean, we live in a state of California where the districts are actually very Democrat and very drawn in a way that where you kind of know the outcome before a vote because of the way it's drawn to support a certain party.
Is gerrymandering still a thing in California?
Oh yeah, of course. Right. But gerrymandering has it sounds like a pejorative, but that's what happens. People draw district lines so that they can ensure a certain type of vote. But I think where it matters, voter suppression matters, is a place where it's a little more contentious in terms of who would possibly win.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like battleground states.
Exactly. If there's sort of half folks of color, half white, or I feel like there's a little bit more pressure to maybe pay attention to the polls to make sure that the brown people aren't rising up.
Is this something you hear about when you guys tour to other states that are a bit more contentious? Do you hear stories?
I don't necessarily, I mean, I've heard stuff on the internet all the time, but whenever I've toured around this time, like, I have heard that people who probably normally wouldn't be as politically, driven, conscious, or always posting the next political thing, but they find it their civic duty to go to these polling places and make sure that things are happening smoothly, like monitoring. So I've heard that from friends, definitely.
I've never, I mean, all the intimidation and fear, I feel like I hear more on the internet.
Right.
I don't, people are still cohabitating. It's not like, we're not monsters. We're not a bunch of monsters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even in red places though,
yeah.
Yeah, it's
People are generally...
Yeah, people are still you're gonna punch you in the face so you can't vote.
And there's that one dickhead that yells at the camera that makes it on to...
Yeah, and that might be a plant, depending on how deep you are into conspiracy theories.
But I think what's insidious about this conversation around voter suppression, like we're saying about sort of covert versus overt, right, is that oftentimes the suppression happens not in your face. Okay?
Right.
So, for example, in the Asian Pacific American community, what's been a challenge is they've been trying to get rid of duplicate names.
Yes.
So, tell me, how many John
right.
Kims and John Lees you think are trying to vote?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
And
ice cold, man.
Exactly. So, or even in the Latino community, right? Latinx. I gotta use the right term. Latinx. They're also doing that too.
Yeah.
Okay. How many Jorge Hernandezes?
Yeah.
Okay. Jose Perez's you think exist? And so what the Republicans have been doing is they've been trying to challenge these voter rolls by saying, look, these are duplicative people. People can't vote twice. These are the same people.
Well, then you
So
got to
that's
go at
messing
all
it
the
up.
John Smiths.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
But see, that's what's happening. So that's where voter suppression is happening. Is you show up, you think you got a thing, but you don't. You don't have a chance to vote. So
My friend John Citizen is always a victim of credit card fraud.
Oh, John Citizen.
Yeah.
I'm
John
gonna go.
Doe.
I'm gonna go.
John Doe.
That is an interesting story, and that is actually a part of. There's a bit of software that a Republican lobbyist has actually provided for people who run elections all around different red states, and they've been using that across all sorts of red states. So it's actually quite insidious.
It is. That's what. That's a good
What's
one.
your advice to someone who might feel bullied on election day?
Knuckle up, man.
Yeah.
If there was one day to be brave, I guess, right?
Yeah, I gotta fight back.
Dylan, what's your advice to someone who might feel a bit bullied on
I
election
think
day?
it was my mom who said that one time somebody was bullying her, and this was out in Lancaster too. But then she just went in there and did her thing and came out. But
She was
I was just like,
shut it out.
but then I'm like, you know, that can be really like nerve-wracking. You know what
No,
I'm
I
saying?
feel it,
Like,
yeah.
like you don't want people's like. I mean, it's the same shit. Well, I guess you can't compare, but like nobody wants to go in to do something and then have people like literally threatening them with violent words and stuff like that going in to vote.
Yeah. You are watching As the Polls Close, is that the name of the show? At the end of the polls, something like that. Joining me on the panel is David Gborie, Jenny Yang, D'Lo, my name's Dan Ilic, and we're taking your questions on Facebook. If you've left a comment below, we've got them here. We've got one here from Jake Curley, who asks, now that we've seen a Democratic elected president, Democratic president won, will Hillary Clinton get in, and in 2020 will Michelle Obama run for president? I think the question here is, will Michelle Obama run for the presidency?
I
in
really
2020?
hope so.
That would be dope, but who knows,
I really
man?
hope so.
I don't know.
Don't you think she just like had enough though? She's been in the White
She's
House
been the
for 8
president?
years. Yeah, she's been in the White House 8 years. I would want to be far away from that place.
Well, we would prove that in order to become a president as a female, you
You have to be
a
marrying a president.
That would basically confirm that new rule.
Jenny, are you going to be marrying a president?
Holler at your girl, Obama.
You're like, then Michelle could go run.
Exactly.
Of course, Jenny
Yeah.
ended up
I'll
marrying
handle things
Obama.
at home.
Michelle
Don't worry about
ran. It wouldn't be that you had to marry.
Did I just proposition President Obama?
I think you did.
We've
I
all
think you
been
did.
there.
That's okay.
We were just talking about his butt. It was great.
You did.
If you are watching this in the Eastern States, you've got pretty much an hour to vote. What should people do in this hour if they've already voted? David Gborie?
Deep
Smoke it if you got it.
breaths. Smoke it.
Jenny Yang?
Deep breaths.
Yeah.
Make a plan to get there.
You know what? Maybe create the Trump apocalypse preparation
Just for
kit.
fun. We're heading into the last lines of questions in this discussion. I want to talk about tomorrow. What is the most optimistic outcome for democracy? D'Lo.
Give it over to Gborie first.
You want to hear it?
Yeah.
I mean, tomorrow, I think the best outcome is, you know, the write-in Kanye situation worked. And Yeezus for president.
Has that been-
Or King of America. I'm okay with new titles.
I've skipped that meme. Has that been a meme? Has there been a grassroots meme for
Kanye?
writing for Kanye?
It is on my Instagram.
People just want Kanye for everything.
Right.
Yeah. No, but I mean, best case scenario, Hillary Clinton. I'm still going to do what I was going to do tomorrow.
Right.
So are you, you know what I mean?
That's true. Jenny, what's the most optimistic outcome for you?
The most optimistic outcome for me tomorrow is Hillary Clinton is president. And she creates a cabinet of people that aren't just corporate lackeys. And all of the sort of broad-based grassroots work, as well as internet, social media work, we still push the issues. We still push the issues.
Who would be in that cabinet for you? Like, who would you like to see? Would you?
Lou Ferrigno.
Would you like to see D-Ray in that cabinet?
I would say Van Jones. Van Jones, he was already an appointee of Obama. He's always on point and very telegenic.
He's a very good performer.
Yeah, Melissa Harris Perry. Basically a bunch of the MSNBC roster.
Right. MSNBC for cabinet. Yeah. D'Lo?
Most optimistic, Hillary. Again, you know, like with a little grain in my heart, but Hillary and that she listens to everybody who's asking her to listen to them.
Just us, really, just us.
Just us.
Yeah.
Just dope comics who don't have a special.
Well, I think it's time right now for at the end of the polls quiz.
Oh, gosh.
Well, let's wrap this up.
Boy.
Before we go, I want to say a big thank you to D'Lo for joining us.
Thank you,
D'Lo.
thank you.
Do you have anything to plug?
No.
Jenny Yang, you always got things to plug.
Oh, gosh.
What are you going to plug?
Just go to jennyyang.tv for all my social media. I'm always online and putting out videos and whatnot.
There you go.
David Gborie, got any gigs coming up you want to plug?
Oh, I'm gonna be on the TV show Those Who Can't. This Thursday at 10:30. I'm playing a lawyer with a suit.
As you should. Right.
So
Your pantsuit.
Pantsuit.
Yes.
This is a quick diversion from the show, but I went to see Hacksaw Ridge.
Is that related to Jim Duggan?
No,
that was weird.
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Hacksaw Ridge major motion picture film out at the moment, and two of my friends are in it, and they play lawyers opposite each other in this scene.
Hell yeah.
And they have American accents because they're Australians, but they play Americans. And I was it was a very serious law scene. And then when they started speaking, I laughed out loud. I was like, "You're not American lawyers! You're idiots from university!" All right, get ready for the
quiz.
at the end of the poll quiz.
Yes.
I think you should answer with your names first to jump in. All right, so let's test your buzzer.
D'Lo.
Jenny.
David.
Bit louder.
D'Lo.
Jenny.
David.
All right, are you ready for the quiz, guys?
I'm scared.
Excellent, I'm ready too.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Let's kick it off. I feel like I need to sit here. And they're all next to each other.
All right, so like we're a real game show format.
Yeah.
Boop, 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 boop.
Isn't there music? I blew
Should we
it.
be
Ladies
sharing
and
this?
gentlemen, welcome to the At the End of the Polls quiz. I'm your host, Dan Ilic, and joining us on the panel all the way from Lancaster is D'Lo, and two people who probably should carpool from Highland Park, Jenny Yang and Gborie. All right, here we go. Basically, there's no points, but just funniest answer will do. All right, here we go. Here we go. Donald Trump kicked off his campaign with what slogan?
Which island should we use to send everybody, ship them off all to?
Okay.
Oh, I get one too?
Sure, why not, if you want.
Grip it and rip it.
Good. Name one Democratic primary nominee who isn't Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders.
David. Kanye West.
Good.
Yeah, I'm very slow
Mine
to
is
this.
Kanye. Mine is Kanye.
I get it.
$27.50 was the amount of money that became famous for what?
Donald Trump's wage for having a hand job.
Right.
That's a good price.
I'm very slow to this. Keep going. I'm just listening.
You just make it up.
I love it.
Make
Oh,
Just make it. You just make it up. What is Bernie Sanders doing right now?
David Gborie.
What?
Fucking smoking weed, man.
Right, good. Hillary Clinton's campaign was taken off track when the FBI investigated a what in the basement of her home?
D'Lo Illuminati diagram for sex practices.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
She's doing sex magic.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would be the best.
She wants it all.
Have you read into that?
No.
Is this a weird?
Yes.
No.
We should
Yeah,
take
it's
a version of sex magic.
Skull and Bones, Bilderbergs.
There's a lot of weird. Just Google it.
No,
There's
but
a
for
lot
real
of
though,
weird-
I do believe that she and Bill are in a polyamorous relationship, and they are allowed to take on different partners. And she was super cool about the dick sucking.
Right, here we go. Let's continue on with the quiz. Which Bush will not be invited to Christmas dinner?
Billy Bush.
Yeah!
Hillary's.
Next question.
Hillary's Bush. Oh.
She's shaving it.
Reince Priebus is the name of a what?
An STD.
Yeah!
That's good.
Donald Trump attracted controversy after doing what?
David Gborie.
What?
The Harlem Shake.
Very good.
He did it wrong.
Whom Aberdeen, senior aide to Hillary Clinton, is married to...
Eddie Dick. D-Lo.
Yes, he did.
270 electoral college votes are needed for what?
David Gborie.
What?
To decide pepperoni or... No, what? I blew it. You know,
D-Lo.
sometimes you blow it.
270 electoral votes for how many votes can get a person of color in through affirmative action?
Damn.
Okay, look at very political.
College.
According to Trump campaign, how is this election rigged?
David,
Yeah.
we're letting women and people of color vote.
Right. Correct!
Because that's what he feels.
That's actually correct.
Yeah.
That's actually true.
That's actually really correct. According to international polls, Russia is the only country in the world that would like to see Donald Trump presidency. Why?
Because they miss being the terror of America.
Right.
Because Jenny, because Putin and Trump need to have a love.
Oh, yeah.
Love tryst, blood orgy.
Romance.
All right, here we go. Name one thing Donald Trump plans to ban from the United States of America.
David Gborie.
What?
Black people.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anything else?
Any other person of color. Mexicans.
Muslims.
Yeah.
Oh, so many things banned.
Chinese women
All the
named
people who
Yang.
make the best foods.
I know.
All right. According to some sources, Donald Trump offered Chris Christie what before being offered to somebody else? Sorry. Jenny.
Nutrisystem. He hates fat people.
He does. He
But
does.
he's fat.
Who did he give it to? Who did he give it
I
to?
don't even get it.
He gave it to his wife. That's what he would do.
Yo.
It's like model wife. He'd be like, "You're too fat."
All right. Moving on. What's going on here?
You know what?
The fall of
I thought
civilization.
we just saw.
We did that one. We did that one.
The fall of civilization.
All right, cool. In the advent of the Donald Trump presidency, what country is planning to build a wall on their southern border?
Canada.
Yes.
David Gborie.
You're right.
David.
I like this.
Yeah.
This is nice.
Is that
Yeah, I
good?
started doing it.
Can we all do this?
I don't know why it feels right. There's no
Can
reason.
we all do this?
There's no reason for me to do that.
All right. Feel the burn is the slogan for what?
Ben Gay. David Gborie.
Good.
Is Ben Gay the one that you rub?
Finish this sentence. Lock.
Oh, David Gborie.
What?
Stock and two smoking barrels.
All right.
I'm on
No,
fire.
Jenny
Oh,
Yang.
you're super gay.
Knock up your pussies. Knock up your
There
pussies.
you go.
All right. Finish this sentence. Drain.
Your pussy.
Right. Good. Finish this
Is that? Oh,
sentence.
now it's gross.
Finish this
Now it's
sentence.
gross. She said it 7 times just now.
Finish this sentence, please.
Please.
Lock up your pussy.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm
Please
sorry.
drink.
No, Jenny, please vote.
And
Okay.
almost out of time. What is Aleppo?
I don't know what you're
Aleppo
saying.
is the street that my parents live on.
All right. Good. Name one foreign leader you admire.
Trudeau.
All right. Good.
Yes.
Quick.
That was the
we're
correct
gonna quickly
answer.
get
That
to
was the correct answer.
Yeah, he's so handsome.
Okay, here quickly. Julian Assange has been responsible for what this election?
For saying things like, sorry, D-Lo, why aren't people caring?
What is the alt-right?
It's next to Tab.
Yes.
Excellent. After this year's 9/11 ceremony, on the way back to her car, Hillary Clinton fainted from what?
She was gone off the cush.
Good.
Jenny,
Getting it.
from Donald Trump's fuckery.
We'll take it.
like
Mike
that.
Pence is to women's bodies as what is to what?
This is like SAT.
As peanut butter is to gasoline, they don't go together.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Oh, there you go.
All right, and last one. What are Paul Ryan's plans after this election?
Oh God.
I don't even.
Jenny, He's going to make his own workout video.
There it is!
go.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. This has been at the end of the polls. If you are watching the Eastern States, you have about half an hour left to go vote.
Just get in line. Just get in line
Get
before
in line
8.
now.
Yeah,
right
get
out,
in line.
Right out, get in line now. Please, please thank audience that doesn't exist. D-Lo!
Yay!
Jenny Yang! David Gborie, I'm Dan Ilic. Thank you so much for joining us, and please share this on Fusion and share all of our other videos. Why not? Just
All of
go
them.
find a video and share it right now. Thanks, guys.